Hey friends, good afternoon, good evening, morning to each and everyone who's watching these programming videos with OSP Pro. Now, I'll first of all start with apologizing to each and everyone who have been watching my videos. I'm sure that actually I'd taken some time without actually making videos. I was kinda busy taken with something else at the moment, but thanks God I'm back. We're gonna be making videos again. Now, for anyone among you guys who would like to make workshops or would like workshops or would like a workshop with me, I'll send you just send me your email address and then tell me that you'd like to maybe communicate with me. We can always link up. Or anyone who need any other kind of anyone who need me in personal, you can always also contact me on my email address. So you can just send me on comments, you comment down, and then we'll see how we can always link up. And so my friends who wants books, still I can also send to you. Soon I'm finishing up my website on which all guys will be getting free books, free ebooks. So soon or later I'm going to be finalizing the site and then I host it. Now they are going to mainly look at Java for complete beginners, and I did some videos on Java that was not complete and it was not really making it all. Now this video simply we are going to cover mainly it's going to be laying for complete beginners. We are going to look at what are the main requirements we need whenever we want to run Java application. Talk of the path, setting the path to Java. Now here, meaning especially students at school. Yes, I have with me here what known as NetBeans. NetBeans is there, fine. But if you try to cross check, most schools don't use NetBeans or Eclipse, which I just have here down here. They don't use them, most schools, especially if you're still at school. So I want to make a video basing on that level at the moment. Then for any of you who would like to other things apart from NetBeans, or anyone who needs things like maybe basing on NetBeans or Eclipse, I'll make the videos later basing for those people. But now this one is going to be for complete beginners. We shall also look at the syntax and the editors to use if we are to make a program. Look at the variables, data types, operators. Then I'll also show you guys what on us nested if statements, switch, then loops. Then I'll simply stop there. Then hopefully next time we shall start on as object-oriented programming with Java. So mainly I'm going to show you the basic introduction to Java programming. Now my friend may ask me, what are the real things that you really need first of all to have in your machine? Now if you're going to be making up Java program, the first thing you need in your machine is one known as the JDK, or one known as the Java Development Kit. I already have one here with me, JDK. Let me just show you this. I have here one with me, JDK. I think you can see Java. Now I have really JDK installed in my machine. So if you want to get one, the thing you have to do is just go to Google and type one as JDK. Just type jdk.org or JDK free download. Then set for you the version of JDK you'd like to use in your machine. That's the main thing I'll simply say we need. We don't need any other thing. Just make sure you have JDK installed in your machine. And after getting JDK, the thing will be, you'll be good to go. You get. Now another thing that I'll talk at the moment is how do we set JDK path. Now remember, mainly I'm going to show you guys running things based on CMD, one on as command prompt here. Whereby we shall need to type on as Java. If you type Java and you find something like this, that implies Java is installed in your machine. But installation of Java is not the same as one as setting Java path. So if you'd like to set Java to show that Java compiler is also within your machine, now to get a Java compiler, that implies you have set Java to CMD auto command prompt. So you have to type Java C, and when you hit enter, you have to bring information like that. Otherwise, some of you guys, your machines, I know it will be giving you one was internal or external variable not found. Now to set such kind of stuff, the thing I'm going to show you now at the moment, after making sure that you have Java installed in your machine, I'm going to send you the link. I'll put the link on the description on how you can actually install Java on your machine or JDK. Now the first thing you have to do now here on setting up path, I'm going to go back to my Java program where we have our Java program. So if you check here, have my JDK, just make sure you open up your computer, go to C. If you happen to install in C, go to program files where you have happen to install go to program files, then go to Java. Underneath Java there's JDK and JER, but now we're not going to make JER at the moment. We're basing on JDK. Double click on JDK, double click on the bin, and then you copy this one you have seen up, copy that. After copying that, go back to your computer, go to your computer, right click, then you go to properties. From properties, go to advanced system settings. After there, go to environment variables. From environment variables, if you're using Windows 10, what I can simply tell you here, click new. You get, click new. Or if you not want, just come into your path where you see path and say edit. Now then from there you will click new. After clicking new, then you paste the other thing you happen to copy, which is that. After then you will click OK to finalize. But if time now you try to cross check now, from already have Java installed in my machine, I think you can see, and the JDK is already set on the path, so I don't need to put it there again. That's okay. So you will also come underneath here if you want, go to edit, you can also add your Java also here. After putting it the other side up, you can also come in here and you click new, then you type in, you paste in your Java application. Is it okay? So that's it. So I'm just going to close mine. So that's how they add Java to this command prompt or to the environment variables. So after doing so, another thing that I have to let you know now at the moment is the editor. What editor are we to use, or what's that we have to use at the moment to start up making Java program? The first thing we always have to think about now at the moment is one on us Notepad++. Now Notepad++ is what I know most of the guys are a bit familiar with. So make sure you have Notepad++ installed in your machine. Another thing that maybe if you don't want to use Notepad++, please make sure you use Sublime Text. This is what I'm talking about. If you don't have one, please send me a message so that I can get for you one my link. This is Notepad++. Wow, this is Notepad++, and with Sublime Text is here. This is my Sublime Text editor. You get. Now let us just see how can we start up using one. So at the moment I'm going to just use maybe Notepad, Sublime Text. So I'll right click on my machine here and I create actually a folder on my desktop, and I will simply make it and give it a name as Java YouTube, to be Java program YouTube or Java YouTube. So that's where our program is going to be lying on. So let's now see at the moment how can you move to desktop. I'll open up my command prompt, and after opening it up I'll come in there up and type cd desktop, whereby when I happen to hit enter, I'm now on the desktop. But not only that am I in desktop, I'm in another folder called Java YouTube. That's where we expect to make our Java programs. So I'll type cd space Java space YouTube, like that. Sorry, space YouTube, like that. So when I hit enter, that implies I'm inside this directory. If you don't want to do so, just open it up, hold the control, right click. Oh, it's not showing me command prompt though. Thank you, because there's no program there. You can just leave that. Always do that with the Python. Fine. Now just come up here. The thing we're going to do now at the moment here, we already have all our things set. That implies at the moment we can run Java program. So that's the path where we shall be making up our Java program. So I'll start off and begin with making a simple application. So I'll open up my Sublime Text, or I'll open up Notepad++. Open up Notepad++. I set it to the size I'm going to be using. That's great. So let me just close these other stuffs here, because I'm not going to use them at the moment. Wow, that's great. So this is our Sublime Text editor, meaning Notepad++ editor, that we're going to be using today. The first thing to do always, whenever you're going to be making up Java program, remember our file folder is here. Whenever you're going to be making up Java program, the first thing you always have to do is first of all to create a class. Now maybe before that, let me first see how can we save up this stuff. Go to File, go to Save As. Now pick the folder where the other stuff is. Our stuff is in the desktop, so right click, go to desktop, look for that folder called Project Java YouTube. I'll click there, and underneath that just give it, I'm going to give it my example. I'm going to give it example 1. Now with the save as type, the extension is for Java. Just look for Java, which is that Java source file, and then you save it like that. Now come in here and type one as class. Now whereby class, you start declaring how to start up making up your program. Class, then please give your class name. Mine, I can just give it hello world. Now that's the class name of my program. You'll see how the class tends to work, and for sure if you don't have a class in your Java program, the program will not work out. You have to have a class first. Then underneath that we shall type one as public static void main. Now this is simply the main function, the main syntax which really represent that this is a Java program. Because when you have int main and have there a string inside that int main, you can also decide to give the one as arguments within that part. Or if not so, if you don't want to use like that, that's option please. If you don't want to give it like that, you can also come this side, put the square bracket first of all, then you come this side and type arguments. After that, then please open up here. So if you try to cross check now at the moment, please, this is one known as the real syntax for Java. This is how they write a simple Java program, a simple syntax for Java. If you want to write a Java program that then can now print for you something, maybe hello world on the screen, you have to type capital S and say system.out.print in. Now whereby print in means print for me on this only simple line. Then you put double quotes, whereby inside double quote, that's when you can maybe say hello, maybe world, maybe introduction to Java. Let me just take that. Just make something brief. Hello world. Now please, always in programming, the another thing that you always have to make sure you may put in mind is what known as semicolon. Java is very key sensitive language, and Java is a programming language that actually respects all of its syntax, so you have to make sure you end with the semicolon. And for sure this one, please use double quote, don't use single quote. Now you can always save up your program. Now Java is different from any other programming language. You cannot right click here and say now launch with the Chrome or Firefox. It will not work out. To get your Java program and maybe to view them, please, you just have to go back to your desktop here, where this stuff where you happen to save them. Double click there. You'll be in a position now to get something of this kind. This is our program, I think you can see, which is this one here. What we've just been doing right now is that. Now we have to open up our CMD now at the moment. Let's open up the CMD. Now after opening up the CMD, the thing we're going to do at the moment is to go to the desktop first of all. So I'll clear first of all everything there by typing CLS, and then I'll type CD to the desktop, CD desktop. After going to the desktop, I'll need again to go to the YouTube, Java YouTube. So I'll type CD space Java YouTube, like that. After going there now, the remaining other stuff is about now moving to the program, which is example 1. So to go to example 1, we have to first compile that Java program, which is Java C. Give a space. You have to give one as example 1. But if you look this side on this same program, we have the save as type, whereby the save as type is Java. That implies we have to say example 1 but .java, the extension, like that. So if I happen to come and hit enter, it will be compiling, and you see what here will happen here. It will create for us the class. Now this class hello world, it is this very same statement we happen to have here. This one will click here in our class is what you are now seeing here, created for us. Now always the classes tend to be created in the program. If at all, maybe what I happen to say that the new codes are compiled and are turned into a class, or compiled. Now whenever we are running up Java program, we run the compiled source code, which is now the class. So to run Java program, you simply type one as Java, then give a space and type one as hello world, whereby hello world in this case I'm meaning the class. So when I hit enter, I think you can see it is now producing for us hello world. Let me just do modification and I show you. I just change this one to introduction to Java. Maybe that's what we have. Introduction to Java programming. Don't forget, always put end with the same colon. So still the thing remains the same after you're saving. It does not mean that now you just come straight and compile. If you come straight, coming straight and run. If you come straight and run, it will still produce for a hello world. So if you want to make the other program what you have just modified to be there, you have to type Java C example1.java, whereby example1.java is the name of your program here. And then if you try to compile, it's not going to compile the same name, but when producing the result, it will produce for us one known as Java space we have hello world, like that. So when I hit enter, it should tell us introduction to Java programming. My friend, that's our first introduction, and that's it. Now mainly using command prompt, that's how they make up Java program. Now at the moment, let us now see at the moment how can we make still the Java program. How do you use comments? How do you make comments in Java? Now there's one thing, like now I've already explained how to show that. Let me just go straight into the program and then we continue. We have another thing called comments. What are comments? A comment simply refers to statements written by a programmer that's hidden from the compiler. It's like hiding some codes from the compiler to not see. Now we have two types of comments in Java. We have a single line comment, whereby the single line comment you give to /, so anything in front of it will not be seen by the compiler. Single line comment. Does not matter what statement you happen to give there, whether it's in a correct way or whether it's in a real not good statements, or not a programmable statement, no, not a real program statement. It will still not be seen by the compiler because it is hidden. You have made it where you have happened to made it hidden, so it is hidden kind of from the compiler. Whereby if you now happen to call and try to compile my program again, I compile it, like that. It will compile normally. I happen to run my program. It will also give me the other stuff, maybe introduction to Java. The same applies if I happen to go to this piece of code and I try to comment also by giving it to /, making it into a comment. If I come back here and I just try to compile it again like that, you'll discover that now we have happened to hide this printout statement, system.out.println, introduction to Java programming. Otherwise, it not show up anything there. I think you can see. If you try to run the program, there's no result we're seeing because the printout, which is this, is hidden from the compiler, so the compiler cannot sense it. I want you guys to put that in mind. Now that's with the single line comment. It affects only one line. What do I mean by it affects only one line? If you have another statement here down and you expect to be a comment, you get, maybe this is still a comment, and would maybe expect that one to be still maybe a continuation of your whatever you'd like to give right then your program as a comment. Otherwise, this one here you happen to give down is going to be an error in the program because there is nothing that shows it's a comment. With a single line comment affects only this line. Now this one would work for multiple line comment, but let me first check down and show you what I'm trying to talk about. If you happen to hit here and maybe try to go to the compile, just in the process of compiling, we shall get an error on line 3. I think you can see we have now an error. This is not a comment, otherwise error, not a statement, because Java does not understand that statement. But if I happen to come in, if you want to make it to be a continuation of a single line comment, then that implies you just have to give it to /, like that. And if you happen to come back in the program and then maybe give one on as / that Java save example1.java and hit that, you will discover that now the stuff is running as expected. Okay. Now let's look at also another type of comment. Whereby another type of comment I'm going to talk about at the moment is one known as a multiple line comment. Now this is the multiple line comment. And now one thing you have to know with the multiple line comment, for them they affect many lines. You get? They affect many lines. So you give it like this. You write /2. In between them you give 2 multiplication sign, and in between multiplication sign, so this is a multiple line comment. It can affect many lines. You get? That's what mainly happen with multiple line comment. They affect as many lines as you wish. So it is you to decide how many lines the program will be affecting, or how many lines would you like it to be a comment. You get? So this one simply also is just a statement, but you can write it in your program. Maybe you would like to comment it in your own complete program like this. Now let me try to move this one off from a comment, because it was not a comment, it was just a printout. You will discover that this is a single line comment. Whatever is given in between here is not going to be seen on the screen, and whatever thing you maybe happen to use either multiple line comment still will not be seen on the screen. So if you happen to go back down here and try to compile this program again, you will discover that it has compiled very well, and happen to run it, it will run as normal introduction to Java. So my friend, that's how they do with the comments in Java. Now maybe let me just try to show you another thing with example 2. Just try to copy whatever is here. Now I'm going to just take you straight into one on us. Just going to save this one as variables. Now there's another thing that I have to let you guys know, and that's what known as variables. Now each and every programming language we tend to use a variable. What's a variable? I mean, just using a simple term, a variable simply refers to an element holding a place value of another element. Give assumption. If you remember from our primary or from our secondary or high school, when we used to say x is equal to having that, x equals to having 3. That implies each time we will be seeing x in that equation, it's always going to be equal to 3. If you remember something like that, you get. Now, x becomes a variable, an element. We always used to set that. So is equal to a number, which might even be equal to a letter, if at all it was defined somewhere up in the program. So we discover that this x is equal to 3 each time we'll be seeing x in the program. Now, in a simple term, x is a variable. Now, there's another thing that I have to let you know in Java. Whenever we are saying we are declaring a variable, we don't just leave a variable bare like that. There's something that we always have to talk about, which have to govern our variable, and that's what known as data type. Now, in a simple terms, just from my definition, I've said the variable refers to an element holding a place value or a storage value or storage of another element. In a simple term, whenever you'll be seeing x, x will be equal to 3. So to make the point clear, or to make it clear, you'll discover that x is a variable, and x being a variable is holding a place value for 3. But there's something called a data type, because if you happen to save this program at the moment, you shall get an error. The program does not know x. Why? Because it doesn't know the storage for x. Every much x is 3. We have to let our computer get to know that for sure whenever someone say x, actually to let the computer know that this 3 is an integer or it is a float, depending on how you want to give the program. So the different types of integers, I mean data types. I've said data types refers to the format in which how an element is stored in a given program. The format in which how an element is stored in a given program. That's what we call a float. So there are different types of float. We have integers, different types of data type. Data type refers to the format in which an element is stored in a given program. So the different types of them, we have integers, we have double. Now don't forget, in Java we mainly don't use float, and we also have one as a string. There's also boolean there, which whereby boolean tests for true or false. Now I'll just end there at the moment. In fact, I'll end with this 3, mainly this 3. Now to make this program to be correct so that there is no error, I have to specify in front of it that it's going to be an integer. It's going to be an integer. That implies on the format of storing, it will respect this 3 or this x of ours, x equal to 3, as an integer, because we'll be giving value to our, it will be respecting the storage for x, where x is an integer 3. So if you check what will happen, if I happen to come back again here in my program, try to just maybe clear whatever is there, and I just happen to come back here on my program, say Java, and maybe I happen to run it. I think you can see, oh sorry, I have to compile the other statement, that's not it. So I just have to give one as Java C, but it's variables, that's the name of our stuff, variables, but it's unvariable.java. So it's going to compile that. I think you can see it as compiled. To run it, I'll just use, I have the same class called the hello world. So I'll just type Java space hello world. I think what I'm talking about is this very statement you are seeing here. You get this very statement you are seeing here. So there's nothing to can print out because this is not a printout statement, but otherwise I was checking for the error. So if you happen to come back down in the program and try to type system.out.print. Now you can use a print, whereby print means you're just printing on that very line. Print means that if you have a print here and there's another print somewhere, after this statement you have another one down here, I have another print, that implies all of them will be in one line. But if you have print line, that implies that line will be only for that statement you have happened to print. So come in here, if I just happen to say x is, now x is, so you say a plus x, whereby plus x means I'm concatenating this variable x to be outside here, so that by end of the day it will say x is 3. That's the value for x. So if you check now again, if I happen to come back to compile this program, that's it, compile, to happen to come and run it, I think you'll see x equal to 3. So that's how they always define a variable. Now there's another thing called identifiers. Now just use this very simple example to get defined for those stuffs. Now identifiers is just simply the format in which how you happen to give up your variables. Now we don't start with the 3 whenever you're giving a variable. We don't start with the 2x. Instead, it's correct whenever you happen to give x2, it will understand. You cannot start to say that 2 is equal to x. It's always x equal to 2. Things like that. And also you can also use underscore whenever you're defining your variable. Maybe x underscore y. I may give a life example. If someone's name, I will say f first name. Maybe if it is first name. Maybe if it is first underscore name is equal to David. Now this one becomes a string, no longer an integer. First name is equal to David, if that's a name here, or OSP. You will discover that we have used underscore. If you don't want to use underscore in programming, then use camel casing, whereby you can simply say maybe first name. I'm just giving this life example. First name, there's no space in between. First name is equal to 3, whereby here you have joined the two statement with the other next statement with a capital letter. So that's how they give one on us identifiers. So there are mainly two ways, and you'll be seeing them in the program as we go on. So to make this one clear, I'm just try to define this very first. I have the variable x is equal to that. I may also come in here, just try to say maybe I have another int y. Maybe y is equal to 5. And maybe if I would like to print it down again here, I may also have maybe int z. Maybe where z is sum, and sum is equal to having maybe now x plus y. Just use that. And we like to find out sum. So system.out, I will simply say maybe the sum of x and y is sum. So just have to come here and say plus sum, like that. You get? Whereby if I happen to compile this program again and try to just come back here, I compile it like that, and I click run, I think you can see the sum of x and y is 8. If you want also to put x and y, simply say the sum of, then here you end that and put a plus sign. Then also here you end that by open up there, and that implies here you also have to put a plus sign. Then also when you look at y, you also end that, you put there also plus. Then look at is and that in between, you also put close here, and instead you put the plus, and then you simply say that's done. So that's how they join different statements. So that implies to say the sum of 3 and 5 is 8. This is what I mean. If you try to cross check now on this program, if I happen to come back again to compile, that's it. I hope there's no error. And if you happen to click on run, hit run, I think you'll see the sum of 3 and 5 is 8, and that's what we are expecting. So that's how they do it, my friends. That's with the data types. Now let me just also show the float. The float remains the same thing. Float integers just stores numbers with just stores counting numbers without decimal place values. Then for float, this one stores numbers with a decimal place value, or with a decimal point. You get like maybe 1 to 1.2, 1.3, 1.56. That's one known as a double. Then for an integer is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are counting numbers. Then for string, this one they store numbers. They actually store letters, text or letters, things like that. So if you try to cross check here again on this program, if I happen to come back here and try to compile, it will give us the output in the form of in the form of a double, and that's it. It will be giving a point in that. So the sum of 3.0 and the sum of 5.0 is 8.0. I think I've seen it has happened to add for us there a decimal place value in front of these statements. So let me also give one example based on a string, and then we see how we can always go up with other things now. And please don't forget, this is L-O-N, not I-N. So let me just try to come back down here, have another program. Let me just try to open up here for a string. Now to use the string, you first give one as a string, and after giving a string, then you give the variable, maybe fname, my name, the same as having maybe OSP Pro or OSP, just like that. Whereby if I simply say in my system here, and I simply say system, or without wasting time, just copy this very statement. I copy that very statement and I paste it here down, and I simply say my name is, so my name is what? My name is a string, so on the string in this case is first name, like that. Whereby the program will also respect fname, where fname is equal to OSP, because you have declared in the form of a string. So if you check also here again in the same stuff and try to compile that same program here, hope that's compiled, where string fname is that, you check that very well, just use your double quote. Yeah, this is OSP. You check where there was error, where is error coming from. Wow, just try to make this one capital S string, because I'm not getting why it's giving me error there. Hope you have seen. If you use small letters here, that one will give you an error. If you use a capital letter, then there's no error. So if you definitely come in here down and try to run the program, it has to give us the sum is that, and my name is OSP. So my friend, that's how they give variables and data types. You get. We are done with the comments. Now let me just take you straight away forward at the moment into one known as operators. Now I'm just going to try to strip off all these stuffs at the moment after picking up that knowledge. That implies now you can calculate the area of a circle, things like that, the temperature, you can calculate the Fahrenheit, you can calculate the volume, things like that using simple logic. Now let's go into one known as operators. Now operators, these are just stuffs in the program that adds functionality in the programs. I'm mainly going to look at one known as increment operators, decrement. We have increment, decrement, talk of logical operators, and mainly relational operators. So I'm looking at mainly the things that are mainly used. So let me first start with increment. Increment means add one to what already exists. And also one thing you have to know with increment, we have two types of increment. We have post increment and prefix increment. With the post increment, I mean add one. With the post increment means first use, then add one. What's there? I give assumption I have x, and x is equal to 1. So if I want the system to give me out the output of that very variable, it will be like this. I'll simply say maybe this is it. Let me just simply say maybe the value for x is, I have your plus x, whereby in a simple term this is one known as I'm just giving that output. Now what you have seen here, or what you are seeing here, if I said x is equal to 1, yes, I know very well if I happen to come back here in this program of ours and I try to compile this statement, which is good, and try to run, it will give you the value of x is 1. Now if I happen now to come in and try to increment x, what do I mean here? If I come in and I say but x plus plus, now that implies it's post increment. This is what I mean by post increment. Post increment, Where with post increment means add 1, mean use x then add 1. Now I've already said x equal to 1. Otherwise to happen to give us now at the time it will give us now here 2. This is what I mean. If you shake into this program I compile and happen to run it, it will simply say x is 2. That implies each time you add 1 it will be adding on to the variable or to the value you happen to give. Now to make things clear, let me just try to comment this one off, and then I just using the same system here. If I add there plus 1 and I just copy this same statement, since we have their print line, you will discover that now at the moment is that, sorry for that, it will cross check now at the moment that if I happen to come in down and try to run this program, the first variable, the first value will be 1. To respect, it will take this one because this one it is just in the printout, it has not yet stored in the memory. So it will try to simply say that first use 1, then later on we shall add 1, and that later on adding on 1, and that's it. So that implies it will be having 1 ready to add 1. This one become now a 3, 4. That implies it will be adding on 1 to what already exists, simply like that. So that's how with post increment is like all. Now there's another thing called the prefix increment. Prefix increment. We just try to give you one thing and I try to show you that. That one was with the post increment, so this is with the prefix increment. Now with the prefix increment, simpler for it, we first add 1, then we use it. This is what I mean. I give assumption, declare another variable here called y, and y is equal to also maybe 1. We just use something different so that you can see there's a difference in what I'm meaning. If I paste this down here, the value for x, for y, it will be having 1. Actually it will be having, it's going to be post increment. So I will simply say 1 on us plus, then I will give my plus y like that. Now this is going to be post, meaning prefix increment. First add 1, then you add it to y. So I hope there is no error. I'm saving that, save that, and try to compile it again. Hope there is no error. That's it. So if you happen to run, it will simply find out that here the value for y is 2, which is not the case when we happen to give for this. So the post increment, prefix increment, simply for it is very keen on adding first of all before using. So you'll discover that now this one will be 2, 3, 4, 5, simple like that. So if you shake here and compile that and happen to come in and run, definitely that's just like I've said to you, that's how it will be like. That's with the prefix. This was with the post increment, this is the prefix increment. Now I hope that's clear, my friends. If that's clear, then that's great. Now let us take ourselves into another thing called relation operators. So let me just try to open up here, try to save that as operators, or maybe before that even, if I still go back here on the other same stuff and I show you still another thing here. Now this was with the post increment and the prefix increment. Now there's also one known as decrement. Now also decrement have 2 types of decrement. We have one known as post decrement, which is also this, you give 2 minus sign here. That's post decrement. First use, then later on add, mean subtract, and it will work like this. So if I happen to come back here also and I compile the same program and maybe happen to run it, you will discover that now this one known as post decrement. And there's another thing also called post meaning prefix decrement, whereby with the prefix decrement we shall first subtract, then we use what we happen to subtract or what we subtracted. This is it also. If you happen to come back here and try to give their program like that and maybe try to compile it, you will find that this is one known as prefixed decrement, not increment now, decrement. and this one was post decrement. So my friend, that's all about what I will simply say at the moment, and that's how they give it out. Now another thing that I have to talk now at the moment is one as relation operators. Now without wasting time, because I am running out of time now, this video I mainly made it for 1 hour, I'm making it for 1 hour. So after 1 hour I think I'll be done off. Then the rest of other object-oriented programming we shall do it together later on. But at the moment I'm mainly on first of the syntax for Java and the main running up Java application first of all. Now there's relation operators, just like I've said to you. With relation operators, we mainly base on what known as greater than sign, talk of less than sign, talk of what known as equal, that's us, talk of maybe not equal, not greater than, things like that. You get? That's mainly what with the logic operators. So let me just try to give one here and try to see. I give assumption. If I say if x is equal to what known as if x is less than 2, or if x is less than 3, print for us here down. If x is less than 3, just try to come and cover up these things here. If x is less than 3, what should the system print for us? So we have the system dot out dot print line, things like that. Print for us x is less than 3. That implies if x is less than 3, print for us that. Otherwise, so that comes our otherwise statement. Maybe otherwise print for us x is not less than 3. So let's check that up here. X is not less than 3. What do I mean here? It will check on this condition here of this variable, and if you find that x is less than 3, it will print for us here this statement. Otherwise, if you look into this condition and find that it's not matching with this one here, it will print for us the otherwise statement. This is what I mean. If I go in here and I type Java C operators .java, simply it will compile for us that program. Remember, I'm using the same class, hello world. So still, if I happen to come back and type Java space hello world, it will still give us Java is less than 3. The reason why it's giving us Java is less than 3 is because of this condition. But if I happen to make it 7, then it will be the otherwise statement, the else statement, to be printed out. You see? So it will be just like that. X not less than 3. That's with the relation operators. So they are all this one here. Please that you just give your time, practice them, and have to master them, how to do them out. Now let me also take you straight into one known as logical operators. Now with the logical operators, the thing I mainly want to let you guys know with the logical operators, for them we base on 2 types of logical operators. There's logical and logical or. Let me just break down here and I then show you that stuff very fast if possible. Just take back this stuff of mine here. We are in logical operators, so I'm saying logical. We have logical operators. We have said we have logical and, whereby with the logical and, for it you give it like that. That's logical and. Then with the logical or, for logical or we have it in this way. Logical is given like that, and where for it is a pipe. This logical and is given like this, and logical or is given as a pipe. You write 2 kind of a pipe. So to give it in my program, I'll simply say maybe if, maybe we have here if x. If I have another variable, just take that, and then I explain to you with the logical and logical or. If you have here that if x is maybe less than, I don't know why my machine is today is disturbing me. If x is less than 1, just add another bracket there. If x is less than 1 and use another variable here, int y is equal to 3 and y is greater than, maybe if x, just use first of all straightforward, if x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 3, then print for us this statement underneath here. Print for us here down. Print for us something down here. X, maybe simply say x and y is equal to 1 and 3 respectively. Now check here with the logical AND. Like I've said, we have two types of logical operators. With the logical AND, this is how it behaves. If you have the first equation is true and then the second equation is also true, then for it is equal to true. That's what you have to know. But if you have with the first equation, maybe it is true, and maybe the second equation is one on us false, please, then it is false. That's with the logical AND. I'm talking about here. And the same thing applies if you have your false statement and also false operation, then everything is false. Now let me take that, now you know what known as logical AND. Now let me take it to logical OR, which is a pipe, that one there. Now with the logical OR, if you have something true here and we also have something true here, please, it is ever true. And if you have something here false and maybe have true also there, then please, it is true. That's true. But if you have something here false, the first condition is false and the second condition is also false, then that's when it will be false. So let's bridge this gap at the moment and we see really what's it real, what I'm trying to talk about. Like now if you try to cross check, I have that if x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 2, if x is equal to 1 and y equals to 2, then system.out.println print for us here x and y is equal to 1 and 2 respectively, and 1 and 3 respectively. Then I have your else condition, whereby with the else statement of ours at the moment, with else is for it is just going to print the otherwise. I will simply say x and y maybe are not equal to that respectively. Or I will simply say not equal. Is not. So I'll just use the other is not equal to 1 and that respectively. So check here, we are using logical AND at the moment. The reason what I mean by logical AND is this. So if you try to cross check in our program, this is what we have. We have the following stuffs: x1 and y2, y3, and I'm using logical AND. And I've said with the logical AND, it is if here is true and here is true, then everything is true. But if it is like that, so if this side is equal to that for sure and this one is just equal to 3, like what's even up, then we expect this condition to be printed out. This is what I mean. We find that x and y is equal to 1 and that respectively. But otherwise, if this one here is equal to 8 or something different and you're using logical AND, then everything is wrong. So we have the else condition is one will be printed down for us on the screen. This is what I mean, and that's it. I hope that's clear. Now the same thing applies when you're using logical AND. Now I'm just using it from here. With the logical OR now, to test for logical OR, this what happens. If this one is correct and this one is correct because it is 3 in our equation, then expect also to print for us the correct statement, which is that. You get? And again still, if at all this one is something else, maybe it's 8, like we have said 8 maybe, you will find that also there everything is still correct, because we said with the logical AND, for logical OR, if this side is wrong and this side is correct, for him does not care, he will print for you that. So my friend, that's mainly how we talk about logical OR. And again we said if all the side is wrong, that one is wrong, this is wrong, then we verify the statement, everything there to be wrong. This is what I mean. Whether you're using logical AND or you're using logical OR, everything will be wrong. So for it is only wrong when all the two stuffs, none of them is correct. Then that implies logical AND, logical AND and logical OR to be wrong. Then with the logical AND, I've said if one part is wrong, then everything is also wrong. Then with the logical OR, if one part is wrong and one part is correct, then it is correct. If all parts are correct, then it's correct. But if one is wrong, then everything is wrong. So my friend, that's all about operators. So let me leave that for now. Let me just use these meanings again and try to explain to this one on us if statements. If statements. So let me try to move this all off from here. Shake that off now. So I think that's it. Just try to move even this one and only remain with the syntax. So let me just check for if statements. So with if statements, now there's one thing you have to know whenever you're talking about if statements in Python, in Java, not in Python. Sorry for that. Now I've been in Python and I've been making some systems. So any of you interested in my systems, I'll be showing my system soon. Maybe after this video I'll also upload them online and just show you how my systems are. So if you need a school management system, hotel management system, report card management system for secondary school or primary, things like that, please, you can always hit me down, and then maybe I happen to we negotiate. That's all about it. Yeah. So I gave in my time and I've made those systems. So if you want them, you can always comment down on my YouTube and say that I would like to talk with you personally. Fine, then I just send you my email address and then we can always hit up or talk. Now let's look at one known as if statement. With if statement, this is what happens. We come in here and give a condition, and then underneath the condition here we give our statements, and the same applies here. We give one known as else if, which is also a condition, and underneath that we give one known as a statement. Then lastly we have else. For it does not have any condition, instead is having a statement. So this is how they give the if statements in Python, in Java, whereby here you give a condition, I give assumption, we have your int x and x equal to 1, or x equals to, maybe let me just say 10, and also maybe have int y and y is equal to having maybe a 15, like that. To give my condition here, I may simply say if x is equal to, if x is equal to having maybe a 10 or 11, we expect this statement to be printed down for us. So that one becomes simply printf. So this one becomes system.out.print line x is 11. Otherwise, if it is not that, there's also another condition here. If y is equal to maybe 15, then you print from me some statement down here, tell us y is that, y is 15. You just use that statement here very fast. Y is 15. Now for here else condition, else statement. For it is not a statement at all. For it is not a condition, it's just a statement to print out x and y are not correct. I'll just take that. Now check here. If x is equal to 11, print for us this one, 11. And for if y is equal to 15, print for us 15. But if you check in our condition, we have x equals to 10 and y is equal to 15. So the program will look into this one to check, check into this one. If you happen to find that x is 11, which you happen to give in this condition here, it will not waste the time there. It will check and see that's not correct. So it will go to else condition and it will cross check and find y is equal to 15, which is correct statement. Then tries to me to print for us one as y is equal to 15. Then if you check on else condition is always correct whenever all of these conditions you happen to give in. The else statement is always correct whenever all of these conditions happen to give up here on the else and else if are wrong. So this is it. So if you check here, I have else if statement. So this can be Java C space if statement, if statements.java. So if you check now, I'm still using class, so I'll just simply type Java space hello world. So if you hit enter, it will simply tell us y is equal to 15, which is correct here. How about if I just change that one to something big like that, which is not correct? Then at least trust me, this is what will be printed down for us. So if you check, y and x are blah blah are not correct. So that's it. Now also have another thing called nested if statements. Nested if statements. Now with the nested if statements, for them they becomes like children of the if statement. I give assumption, maybe if you happen to maybe make a program and say maybe if this statement x is equal to, for sure is equal to that, then if it is correct, then we have another condition underneath that, whereby for it we shall have maybe if it is then correct, we have another condition, maybe that maybe y is less, if y is greater than 10, then you print for us this statement here down, y is greater than y is greater than 10, sorry, y is greater than 10, else give us also a condition, then say just use that, not waste a lot of time. Now check here, this one becomes a nested switch, nested if statement for this condition of ours here, becomes nested. And then if you try to cross check here, if this one is correct, I just make it correct for this time around. That's it. So if it is correct, we expect this statement to be printed out for us, and we'll also go inside here, the nested, and we'll also print for us here. Otherwise, if this one is correct, which is true from here, and this one is wrong, the program not even waste its time to going inside. Let me just do that example and show you. If you check here and try to run, it will simply say x is 11, y is greater than 10, which is correct. But if I happen just make, oh sorry, I didn't say 11, it is 10 also, please, sorry for that. This is what I mean. If you check, that's it. Now if you check also here that if you told maybe this is 11, which is really wrong, and this is wrong, it will not even waste time to loop into this and this and even this one here. Let me just check that and I show you. It instead will go to else if and then else. If this one is also wrong, then it will go to this. Now this is it. If you check here again, and that is it. If you check that, x and y is not correct, which is this last statement here. Now give assumption this is correct, is correct, but this one is wrong. Let me just leave 10 and I just change this relational operator like that, which is wrong. So it will print for us this, and then it will also go to this and print it out. So if you check here and you come and check on the program and hit that, I think you can see that's all about what I'll simply tell you today. So my friends, I know we've been left with the two things. One's called the switch and the loops. Now maybe for switch I'm just going to give it very fast here, but for loops I think you guys I'll just make it in a program and then I give it to you. I made this video, I planned only for 2 hours, for 1 hour, sorry, not for more than an hour. I don't want people to be so tired. So this is going to be a switch. Actually I would make it up all at once, but just that I don't want it to be too long again for someone to be so tired. Otherwise, if you're interested in longer videos, then you can let me know. Yeah, I've always been making kind of short videos if you've been cross-checking my videos. Now for switch, what's a switch? A switch still behaves like the way you can see if statement, but the good thing with the switch, tests for a single variable. How? If I give assumption, I have to say maybe int grade, or happen to say maybe x is equal to having a 10. That's a variable. I will come in here and I say switch what? Here I will open. Now here we give one as a variable name. Then underneath that we come in here, we give case. This one becomes maybe case 1, and underneath case 1 we shall have a print out statement, system.out.print line. Maybe my number is 1, like that's what we have there. And after doing so, we expect to break that case. After that case coming up, we need to break it off. So let's have that, and that's it. Then underneath here, we just take this one. In this very case, don't want to make it so long, and this one becomes the default, like that, and just having a break. Now with the default, it's just like else, for it does not have a condition, it's just a print. I'll simply say maybe my number is not here. Let me just make this one to be 10. Used to be 8. So this one becomes 8, this one becomes 10, and that's 1. So here becomes a variable, whereby our variable now is x, like I've said to you initially in this very video earlier. So this is how the switch is done. So x is equal to 10, and that's it. So it also give a switch. So it will test for the case 1, where number is 1. Is it the variable what you have here? No. It will check here, is it the one? No. It will come in here, is it the one? Yes. Then it will print for this. This is what I mean. So if you check, I'll have to say one as java c space switch.java. That's it. So if you try to come to run it, still I'm using class or hello world space hello world, like that. So if you check, it will print to us my number is 10. Otherwise, if you don't have anywhere where the number is 10, give assumption this is 11 or 17, and that's 17, it will print for us the default condition, which is like the else statement. So if you check here now again and try to run it, it will print for us my number is not here. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching this video. I know it has been a long video kinda, and if for sure this video has helped you, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. I'm sorry that I had taken time without making videos for you guys, but now back, since I'm back, which I'll always be in touch. Now for any of you guys who are interested in books for Java, you can always hit me down, and also you guys who are interested on other things that maybe happen not maybe to cover in this video, please you can also comment down on my video, then I can always make them for you guys. And if there's anything that I happen not to explain well, please guys, you can also comment down and try to let me know about what is really would you like. And then I know most of you guys maybe are interested in using NetBeans and Java Eclipse, it's also fine. You can also comment down my video, and I can also make videos for you on that. But mainly for this video, I happen to make mainly for those guys who are really in introduction to Java, and they have never got any good basics on Java. So this, I believe this is the good basic and the good beginning point for anyone who's interested in programming. So may God bless you. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel, and for those guys of you who are maybe from different schools within Uganda here, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, or anywhere within the world, or as long as you're on earth, you can always hit me up, and maybe you want to organize a workshop with me, or you would like maybe to come in. I have no problem. You can always link up, and we also share ideas. So that's it, my friends. And if anyone interested in anything else, you can always hit me up, and we see what's that and how we can always come up across it. So guys, thanks for watching this video. If it has helped you, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. I love you all. Thank you.